Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Once again, I'm Nev from the Riot Watch. It is October 5th, 2020. Let's judge people based off the content of their character and not off of the color of their skin. Portland Antifa are planning something of a one-year death anniversary for Sean Kealiher. I'm just going to call him that. Of violent Antifa killed under unknown circumstances because his comrades won't cooperate with police. Online, this individual urged terrorist attacks on schools. So that's how it goes. Why won't his buddies help him out? Fatal crash near Portland. Left-wing hangout. Followers following random argument. Not political attack. So they'll probably try to martyr this guy, but you know, facts aren't important in wartime, right? Anyways, as things continue to go on, as riots continue to go on, they're here and there. We're kind of getting used to them by now. A lot of people are turning towards Trump because Biden doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot about it. Now, this is something interesting. This is the reason why I'm doing a video today. There was seems to be a bit of a pivot. The NFAC coalition, a black separatist militia, held an event in Lafayette, LA yesterday. This is the grandmaster's call for a separatist black nation state. He just lost his magazine. So this is the worst of both sides. This is people with guns on the left, dressed in black bloc, but they're not. I'm not seeing all the trigger discipline that I want to see here. And ultimately, out of this, a situation has arose where somebody fired a shot. Unfortunately, somebody fired a shot in air, and that's when things get interesting. Black separatists, though. What would Malcolm X think about this? What would Martin Luther King think about this? This is just some unfortunate stuff. This is some unfortunate stuff. Anyways, if you want to see what happens, look up Liberia. I'm just saying, look up Liberia. I want you guys to see what happened in Liberia.
When a person stops talking, they're the most dangerous person in the world. That's why the NFAC don't talk. Y'all done did all the talking for us. That's why the NFAC don't sing. Y'all have chanted and sung enough for us. What you haven't done, and I thought y'all would have learned this after I went down to Brunswick, Georgia for Ahmaud Arbery. I thought y'all would have picked it up when they threatened to kill black people on July the 4th. So we went up to Stone Mountain to see who they wanted to kill, and they weren't there. We thought y'all would have picked it up when we pulled up in Louisville for Breonna Taylor. And then it came back and cost them $165 million, plus another $13.5 million they lost in the casinos. We thought y'all would have figured it out. You still ain't figured it out, so let me help you out. Look at us. When you protest, this is what you should look like from now on. Stop bringing signs to a gunfight. Stop singing to your killers. Cut that shit short today. Organize yourselves. Be smart about yourselves. And remember this. As long, and I hate to quote Malcolm, but be courteous.
Okay, so that's a little bit terrifying to say the least. Now, once again, I am Canadian and I am far left. I'm doing these videos because I see an issue coming with this Antifa merged with Black Bloc. There absolutely is some issues with BLM, but for the most part, I focus on Antifa. But we got some serious issues going down with this video. Number one, if you want to be separatist, feel free to move to Liberia. Feel free to move to other places that are already sharing your opinion, sharing your voice, and see if you would actually like to go to a place like that. So the idea is that we want to make change, and we should definitely start through peaceful protests. But when people start saying that we need to bring guns and all of this stuff, now I got to talk about something that I've been avoiding quite a bit, because once again, I don't know what it's like to be black in the United States, but I've had some time. I've went around, I've done some calculations, and black on black violence is absolutely a gigantic problem. Black on black violence is something that needs to be dealt with. I'm not saying that I have the answers. I'm not saying I know exactly where it comes from, but I'm saying that black on black violence is absolutely an issue, and I am worried about the black people who have no respect in black lives possibly getting power. And with this uncare for black lives, might take us all to hell. I am definitely concerned about that. And after a certain point of time, the leaders of Black Lives Matter need to start talking about black on black violence, and we need to do something about it. There's absolutely a problem with it. It needs to be dealt with. White people just can't do anything about it because it's racist to even talk about it. Like, let's face it, there's somebody boiling in their pants just because I brought it up. But seriously, once BLM has dealt with everything on the outside, they need to look on the inside and figure out, is it systemic racism dealing with doing this? It could be. Maybe it is systemic racism that's doing the black on black violence, but no white person is going to be able to deal with it. I get the feeling like we could pour money into it all day and black on black violence would still be a thing that needs to be taken care of within the black community. But first, they need to realize it is a thing and do something about it. And the solution here isn't bringing more guns to protests. It's unreasonable to bring guns to protests. I don't give a crap what your rights are. In a protest, you're just sending a message, and hopefully it's not terror. But if you bring guns to protests, you're absolutely terrorizing people. You're absolutely terrorizing people. I mean, I could kind of understand if you were going hunting afterwards, but let's face it, people who hunt, people who legitimately hunt, they don't bring weapons like this. They don't bring ARs. If you were to go out to a woodsman's place and see over top of his door that he had a rifle, then you'd be like, yeah, okay. But if you look over his door and see he has something like this automatically brings a ping of terror. I'm talking to the Proud Boys too. I'm absolutely talking to the Proud Boys too. Don't be bringing guns to a fight. Now I am a little bit of a gun nut. I really like guns. I just realized this guy has geez, I'm not even sure what you call it, a drum. I'm wondering if those things are even still useful, because I keep hearing that they jam up really easily. Man, I would love, I know you're not supposed to, I'd love to get a 100-round drum and just lay on the trigger and just let her go. That would be so much fun. Unfortunately, I'm Canadian and I don't get fun things like that, so someone down there has to do it for me. So the NFAC had an accidental discharge. Another one. Apparently they're not really good with that. I have never heard of anyone in the Proud Boys having an accidental discharge, because they seriously seem to have excellent discipline. All of the Proud Boys seem to be really good with those rifles. If they've shot a gun, it's been because they mean to, and not because geez, you know what I just realized? It's okay to bring a gun. It's not okay to point a gun, and it's not okay to shoot a gun. So, anyways, I still have yet to hear if anyone was actually arrested for this, but as soon as someone shot something, it was on. Here we have more video of what's going down or what went down in Lafayette. I don't know, this crowd, it doesn't give me the impression that everybody knows what they're doing, and like they have the right discipline. They're probably just trying to scare people by doing this, and I absolutely believe it might be working. I definitely don't like the fact that both groups are bringing guns to this. I don't care if you're American, if it's your right. It's also your right to be a reasonable individual, and it's also people's rights to not be terrified at protests. I've been to some pretty crazy protests. Yeah, y'all ever been to a pro-life protest where everybody's showing pictures of dead fetuses on the street and stuff like that? Yeah, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that, and nobody wants to see this. Now I'm going to take y'all back to Seattle, and we have riot shields. Riot shields are becoming standard. They're becoming better decorated. We're used to this stuff now. We're manufacturing hardware and handing this hardware out. I believe the police will probably get these shields eventually. Of course, what they like to do is they like to every now and then beat the protesters back a block or two and take their supplies. Odds are one individual purchased these shields, created these shields, and then just handed them out. Once again, here's Antifa attacking another Starbucks. One would think that perhaps they were just interested in the fact that it is fascist because it is capitalist. But what's really interesting is you see other videos, and Starbucks seems to be one of the places that Antifa likes to go to get their drink on. So it's almost, I don't know, man. I don't know, and they're throwing explosives in there. I can't tell you how many protesters I've seen with cups of Starbucks. So it's like, make up your mind, pick a lane, and stay there.
The fucking point is, we want these motherfucking reparations because you know what I'm saying? My motherfucking mama was born 1938. Who cares about that? But my great-great-granddaddy was a motherfucking slave. So we built this shit on Jim Crow for the Democrats. Who gives a fuck or whatever? They want to play these balls.
Okay, I'm having a bit of a problem with the audio of this individual, but you definitely want to check it out in the links in the description. What he is saying, I want people to remember what this guy says for future history. Alright, so here over in Beverly Hills we have Antifa and BLM Marxists confronting Trump supporters and their rally. So one thing, I just want to make sure I say this in every video. Nobody cares that Antifa is fascist. You know, probably everyone else is, anti-fascist. Nobody cares that Antifa is anti-fascist. Most of us are anti-fascist. What people hate Antifa for is the fact that they're communists and they're anarcho. Can you remember that, folks? Communists and anarcho. Nobody likes anarchists. Nobody likes communists in America, and if you have a hard time with that, you're going to have a hard time in America. Alright, so the police are starting to get used to Antifa, BLM stopping roads, and they're definitely preparing more to arrest people. Some places people actually get arrested, sometimes not so much. I see a lot of this happening, and I mean, if you don't like your country, you can go to other countries. You can move out to other countries. But to live in the USA and to burn flags, they're getting better with burning flags. They had no idea how to do it at the beginning, of course, because flags don't burn very well. But they're starting to figure it out. But anyways, if you don't like the USA, feel free to move to another country. Because while you might not like it, it is still one of the best damn countries in the world. And if you should go to China, go to Russia. I'm sure that they would absolutely take you. Go over there and try burning their flags. See what happens. Here we got more video over in Lafayette where somebody fired around. Unfortunately, they didn't mean to, but this is the crazy stuff that we don't need to be seeing in protests. If you don't have enough trigger discipline, if you don't know how to be carrying your weapon and using the safety, then you shouldn't be bringing a gun to a public place. Alright, now this absolutely bothers me. This big guy right here, I was seeing him on the Villain Report, and he was coming right across the street and giving Proud Boys some issues. Of course, Antifa loves to block streets. It's like if they're not blocking a street, they're not doing their job. Watch the individual with the flag. They identify as an individual of color. Watch your head. Someone's about to grab her hair. Okay, this is now assault. Okay, so that was a person of color. So we have another situation where somebody white, that individual looks white enough to me, is giving an issue to somebody with color. Now, there's one thing I want to point out with this. A lot of people say, and a lot of people know, that the left can't meme. The left's memes are horrible. Lefties, if you're watching, you can't meme. And I almost wonder if one reason that's going on is because the left don't understand nuance. And there's definitely some very thick nuance in this situation, where in a lot of situations where we have people on the left who are fighting for not only black rights, but a lot of people on the left, a lot of people with Antifa are out there fighting not for black rights, but for gay rights, for all kinds of left trans issues. They're all already mad, and BLM is just a good time to jump in and start burning stuff down. But a lot of people on the far left that are jumping in to burn this stuff down and to pull hair are white people who are pulling black people's hair, who are yelling at black people. And there's definitely some thick nuance with that, and we need to wrap our heads around that. If you're a protester, if you're on the left, and if you are yelling at a black person or assaulting a black person, you have become the evil that you are fighting against. There's some horrible nuance with that, and that's just some crazy stuff, ladies and gentlemen. That is just some crazy Twilight Zone nuance. So yeah, the main reason I made this video was for the black separatists walking around with guns that don't know how to use safeties. I'd like to know, has anyone ever heard of any of the Proud Boys firing a shot in air? Because that's definitely a thing. That's definitely an issue. Guys, we should all come together and not bring our guns to protest. There's a lot of people out there who seems on both sides that just want to start a Civil War III. I definitely believe that the burning of Black Wall Street was Civil War II. And if you haven't heard about it, I recommend you check it out. Extra History has a great piece on it. And if you're not terrified by it, if it doesn't upset you, then you have no soul. And if you're a Christian, I recommend you talk to your pastor and get some more sensitivity leveled up. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for me. Once again, I'm Nev from Nev's Riot Watch. Take care of each other. Take care of each other. I'm not gone. I'll be back. I'm just waiting. I don't want to be reporting on the same thing over and over again. I want to wait until there's a pivot, until something gets worse, or hopefully gets better. And hopefully I'll never put another video up, because people will stop being idiots. Anyways, have a good one, folks. Catch you later.